Thank you all so much for being here, for supporting us, and for every time that we visited the Valley, not just over the course of the last year, and this is our 10th visit over the last year, but over the last 5 years, when we first started running for statewide office, you have had our backs. You've encouraged us, you've pushed us, you've supported us, you have made us better. And most importantly, you brought in your friends, your family members, your neighbors, your classmates, your colleagues, the people in your life. In 2018, when we were doing this together, we produced the largest voter turnout in Texas history going back to 1970, right? Young voters, their turnout was up over 500% from the last one. That is the base upon which we are building right now. Look, we helped a lot of good people get over the line in 18. 12 new state house reps, 2 new members of Congress, judges all over the state. We transformed the electorate. But now we build upon that base, and this time we win. And we gotta win, because I don't think we can literally survive 8 more years. 8 years of total failure for the people of Texas. Do you all remember February of 2021 when the temperature dropped and you tried to turn on the lights and they didn't work? You tried to turn on the heat, it didn't run. You tried to turn the water on and it didn't flow because it was frozen in your pipes. Though he was warned about that problem, he did nothing to fix it. 700 Texans lost their lives. He allowed his buddies, the energy traders, the pipeline corporations, to take billions of dollars from us. And the kicker is, we're now paying higher utility bills and the grid is still not fixed. So we have to win to weatherize and winterize that grid, to make sure we connect ERCOT with the national grid, to take those bastards to court who stole the $11 billion from us and return it to the people of Texas, and make sure that you can count on the lights this coming winter. We're a state, because of Greg Abbott, that leads the nation in the number of school shootings, gun violence, the leading cause of death for children and teenagers. Our kids fear going to school right now. Our teachers, who already sacrificed so much, don't want to think about having to sacrifice their lives to keep those kids alive. So what do? We win this election and we put the lives of our kids over the interests of the NRA or the gun lobby in the state of Texas. You with me on that? And speaking of those teachers, I think they deserve to be paid enough not to work a second or a third job. I think those retired teachers deserve a cost of living adjustment every single year. And I think those kids in the classroom deserve more time with those teachers. So we're going to eliminate the STAR test in the state of Texas. We cannot survive the most extreme abortion ban in America. There's no exception for rape, no exception for incest. In an estate that leads the nation in a crisis of maternal mortality, there's no exception for the life of the woman or the mother involved. That is why we got to make sure that we win this election and guarantee that every woman makes her own decisions about her own body, her own future, and her own health care. For our veterans, there's absolutely no excuse for the fact that though we are in the 9th largest economy on the planet, there will still be some who have served this country in uniform, sleeping alongside the road, underneath bridges, on park benches. I say we spare no expense, pay any price to make sure each of them has a roof over their head, is connected to the care that they need, and when they come back from the VA saying, hey Beto, I don't want to be prescribed an opioid to which I may become addicted, from which I may die. There's something else that I can use that relieves my symptoms, restores my appetite, allows me to sleep at night. But to use it in Texas makes me a criminal in the eyes of the law. That's why we must legalize marijuana in the state of Texas. And no longer spend billions of dollars putting people behind bars for possession of a substance that's already legal in the rest of the country. We do all that we can with what we have, where we are right now, and we'll be able to do these things because we will have won that election. We'll be able to expand Medicaid so you can afford to see a doctor, fill a prescription, go to a mental health care provider in a state whose largest provider of mental health care services today is the county jail system. We're going to make sure that we define ourselves no longer based on our differences, but on our common goals found right here on the common ground, the great things that we want to be able to do together. Think about this agenda. World-class public schools, great jobs, the ability to see a doctor who can take the other side of that argument. After 8 years of failure from Greg Abbott, it's time that we have some success and some solutions. But it comes down to us at this moment, 8 days. Faltamos 8 días until this election is called on the night of November 8th, 2022. So I need your help knocking on doors. I need your help making phone calls. I need your help reaching out to the people in your lives who otherwise won't vote unless they get a little bit of a nudge from you. You can sign up with our campaign to knock on the doors of those who are the targets of voter suppression and voter intimidation, to make sure that we bring them out from the disenfranchised to the margin of victory. We have our volunteers here somewhere. Raise your hand if you're, we got here. Rocio's right here. She's got a clipboard with open shifts to knock on doors. We want you on that. And if you take a picture with us today, and I hope that you will, I want you to post that before you leave this parking lot. And in your own words, caption that photo with what brought you out here. Why this is the election of our lifetimes, because our lives, and more importantly, the lives of our kids, are on the line right now. Last thing that I want to say, you know, I was talking to someone earlier about why we got into this race in the first place. And I've described all the bad things that Greg Abbott is doing to us, all the great things that we'll be able to do together when we win. But the most important reason to get into this is the 3 kids that we're raising in El Paso, Texas. Ulysses, who's a 10th grader, his sister Molly in the 9th grade. First homecoming as a dad. It's a frightening experience, but we survived it. Their little brother Henry, who's in 6th grade right now. Those 3 kids, your kids and grandkids, they don't get a vote in this election, but through the actions that we take and the commitments that we make right now. If you're like me, those kids are my conscience, and I fear their judgment. And I want to make sure that we come through for this state, for our country, for one another at this defining moment of truth. So let us all make this commitment right now, that we're going to do what it takes to come through on election night, celebrate an historic victory for the people of the state of Texas. Wake up on the morning of November 9th with a glorious hangover, a smile on our face, the realization that we've won this because we did everything that was asked of us and came through for us and for the generations to follow. You all ready to win? Yeah! I am ready to win with you and these great Democrats up and down the ballot. I want to thank Commissioner Fuentes for introducing us. I want to thank Vicente Gonzalez, the congressman of one district, who's now going to be the congressman of this district, and every amazing Democrat in office right now who makes us so proud of what they do in these positions of public trust. Let's keep it going. Let's get after it. Keep the faith, keep up the fight, and let's go win this election.